Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope this is a suitable time for our meeting. I'll start apologizing because I'm not so experienced on lives. This is my first one, so I'm going to have a little bit of technical situation going on, perhaps. And I think I will um, share some screen, but you will be able to see all my pages because I still don't know how to do this. Okay, so. Today, I'm glad to show you the first astrological basics. First of all, I would like to bring a philosophical concept, okay? Let's not discuss the origins of astrology and how science watches it or how it was created, because there are different thoughts regarding that. And honestly, I'm not interested in history. I'm interested in how this is applied and how it works. What do I mean by that? Check this out. This is very meaningful. Okay, so they were creating the whole studying sky things, and they were comparing the movements between the stars, and they did this very wise movement of reflecting them into Greeks and Romans gods and goddesses. And I'm pretty sure that was like divine inspiration that brought them to this, because if you think about it, um, you will be able to realize that once you put moral meaning and behavioral and psychological meaning into a symbology like star, and it has movements, and it also meets with other stars with other meanings also in movement, you have a whole relation of psychology, morality, and behaviorism in all those symbologies. So this is very powerful. Doesn't matter to me how it was originated, but the tool really works. I've seen it working, and I'm very fond of it. Okay, so this is a good moment to say this. Uh, Here we're going to start today the basics. So when I mean the basics, like the first classes that the astrologer has, when we're going to start studying how to read an astrology chart. And I would like to say to you, um, oh, I'm sorry. I think I clicked it unwantingly. Sorry. Um, okay, sorry, where was I? Okay, so when we have all those meanings, they're currently passing each other. We have a whole situation going on. Okay, this is very powerful. Okay, let's start on the chart. I'm going to start sharing with you my screen. I'm going to present you the first meanings of the chart. We have half an hour. I hope we have time. But remember, please, to subscribe and become a Celestial member, because the deeper knowledge of that workshop will be only for members, okay? So I hope to see you there so we can continue our studies, so you can grow your spiritual studies. Okay, now what I got here for us, let me share the whole thing. Okay. I'm using this page, this website, just because I'm very used to it. I have already like 100 clients in here inscribed for all the people that I did the natal chart for. But I honestly took mine because I didn't want to be interfering in other people's charts, because charts are very personal. They can say a lot about someone else's life. So I chose to expose mine, okay? So this chart is from the moment I was born, and we're gonna go through all the meanings of each part of this drawing. This drawing can be very complex, and if I'm not mistaken, it has 144 factorial meanings, because each time you make a movement with a planet, you bring another meaning, okay? So, okay, let's start in here. This first triangle, this we call the pizza, okay? The first triangle of the pizza This is important. Each triangle is called house. So you have house 1, house 2, house 3, house 4 until 12. Each of those houses, they have meanings. The astrologers, they make this metaphorical comparison for the natal chart that gives you an idea of the meaning of those three things: the houses, the signs, and the planets. Okay, so let's imagine like this. The houses, they would be like the stage, the place, the environment in which the other aspects will feel their energy. So the house is the stage. The sign is the kind of energy that will be thrown to that stage. And the planets, they give the themes under discussion. So if you compare it to a theater or a movie, the houses would be the staging and how it was configured. The signs would be the energy that will influence that stage, and the planets will be the influence of the theme under discussion, the theme under process. Okay, this is a good comparison. So let's start from here. In house one is represented by Aries originally. This is in here, my is Virgo here because of my personal map, but this is representative of Aries. So in Aries, we have the I have my strength, my way to project myself into the world, the way that other people see me. What else? I've got my bellic force to fight for my stuff. It's the starter because it's the one. So it's all about project starting, and it brings a lot of strength for starting. What else? The first approach, and it's very representative of objectiveness because Aries wants to start and see the finishing. So it's a very objective energy. It doesn't like ponder way too much outside and this and that and what am I going to do about that, if that and that and that. This is not Aries. Okay, Aries is, oh, I want this, I have to do that. This is an energy of Aries. Okay, the second house, this gets really important, and this is very this is a very important part of our lives. The second house represents our stuff, my stuff, right? My stuff. So it's about my values, including moral, ethical, and financial material values. It includes also properties, but not house, because house is in another part, other properties, okay? Like pieces of lands, buildings, anyway, properties, but house, properties, but house, okay? And also in here we have arts because of Venus, and we have because Venus is the ruler of this house, and we have the first glimpse of politics because of Aphrodite's relationships. So this house is a lot about money, okay? So this is very important for us. Also, this is very good to comment. Each house, the houses that have planets, they will have higher energy going on them, okay? So keep that in mind. The third house, okay, I forgot to say this. The second house is representative of Taurus. Let me just get something here. Astrological chart and blank. Just a bit, please. Opa. Images. Let me get a good image. Okay, this could be a good image. I'm working from here because I think it will be easier. Okay. Oh, this will be more clear. Okay, good. So in the second house is represented by Taurus, and all Taurus energy related to let's move slowly, to carefully ponder things related to everything. This is very Taurus, okay? Now going to the third house. The third house is represented by Gemini, and it's my expressions. So the third house talks about how you're going to express yourself, and also it's related to our first childhood and our first learnings back when we are in first, second, third, fourth grade, something like this. It also talks about short-term travels and travels to short distances. Also, friends and closer families. So this is our siblings, our cousins, uncles and aunts, and the expression here in Gemini. Politics gets a little bit more of growth because here we start evaluating the way we express ourselves, how it's been well received. We not only speak, we start thinking a little bit outside, like when I say this, am I going to be understood like that? So how Gemini is for expression, okay? The fourth house is for Cancer, and it's all about family. And this is how also the house that represents houses when I talk about properties. Okay, so this is when I talk about buying a house, I have to watch the house of Cancer because buying a house is represented by Cancer. And it's all related to family subjects, but our closer family, mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, everything inside our house. So this has a lot of, in this point, we have also a lot of emotional, this tells a lot about of our emotional aspect, okay? Just a little bit, please. Lê, pode me falar quanto tempo tá dando? Rapidinho. É só ver quanto tempo tá dando de live, lindo. Ah, 2 minutos, beleza. Pra eu não passar aqui da hora. Okay, getting back here. Sorry, I was just checking out the time because I'm not seeing the screen of the live. So in here, we also have a lot of emotional things going on. It even says how you, like, let's say, like how you enjoy your emotions. If you're going to do this in public, if you're going to be able to cry in front of everyone, if you're going to be able to, if you're going to like only hold emotions to yourself. A lot of that is here in the fourth house of Cancer, okay? So parece que acabou a bateria, okay. So here in the fifth house is represented by Leo is represented by Leo, and it's the fifth house. This house is also very important. It's one of my favorite houses, okay? So the fifth house starts. The art of acting gains playtime and gambling because of that. Our passions, and it says a lot about it. In here we get already a lot of politics, okay? Because Leo is very like, let me search for a word in English just a bit. Host. This I didn't need to search. I remembered. Host. Leo is all about hosting. They can arrange those big parties and events and travels for a group of people. They are all related to living the space as luxurious as a Leo likes. So Leo has all this energy of party and fun time and playtime. And also it's representative of the art of acting specifically, okay? So theater and cinema is in here. Other arts in general, like painting or drawing and other stuff, we are gonna find a little bit in Taurus and a little bit in the balance. So, fecha todas as janelas. Não fechou todas as janelas? Fecha todas as janelas. Pronto. So here we're talking about our playtime, and we have to be a little bit careful about this because depending on the planet you have in the fifth house for fun time, the person will have a tendency to gamble. So people are questioning themselves sometimes, why is this happening to me? But a lot of things is the fault of the stars. Okay, it's true. It's their fault. They're influencing us. In here, in the sixth house of Virgo, we have our routine, our health, our pets, and how we like to daily elaborate our jobs. Okay, this is very important because this rules a lot of people behavior in their work. Okay, so this is, let's keep a very big eye on it to see how we can develop better ways to deal with our daily difficulties or challenges at work. Okay, in this point, I'm going to make a small comment by showing you an image. Maybe a lot of people know this image already, but it's valuable to share. I got this small little video from the moon, and no, not here. Where is the video? Oh, I closed it. I'm sorry, just a bit. 3D movement. I had it open, but I think I closed it. Sorry. Let me just moon influence on Earth. Oh, it was so easy to find before. I'm gonna. Okay, this. Okay, this. So this year, this is the image. Então, deixa eu tirar o som. Okay, thank you. Just took off the sound. This image shows how the moon affects the Earth. And this is very important to show, okay? Because the moon is closed. So if we are able to watch all this movement from the water on Earth, it's just to have an idea if the moon can influence this strongly our Earth. The other elements from the skies, they also influence, but because they're a little bit further away, their influence is more subtle. So I showed you this image, this little video, to tell you this. If this is the influence of the moon that is really close to us, the other planets, they have the same influence, but a little, you can perceive it, realize it a little bit more subtle, okay? We're going to talk about that subtlety later. So going back to the chart, okay. Everything below this line, can I draw a line in here? I think I can draw a line in here. Shapes, lines. Okay. Oh, it's not going to appear because it's going to be the back. Okay, it's appearing. Let me wait. Okay, here. So everything beneath this blue line is about the I, my world, my life, my everything about mine, okay? Above this line is everything about the others. So, and in the opposite direction. So if in here we first had Aries talking about the I, now we have the balance talking about them. What does that mean? My relation to them. So in the Aries, I talk about I and how I project myself and how they see me. At balance, I will start how I want to project myself in order for them to see what I want them to see. So it gets a little bit different because we start considering others. And in here, we're going to follow the same things, but in the opposite direction. So if we had Taurus talking about my stuff and my values, now we're going to have Scorpio in the 8th house talking about other people's values. This is just a small glimpse of example, but I'm going to go into more detailed situations, okay? So here in balance, so fala.
Libra.
Libra, thank you. So when we are in Libra, we're talking about relations, and this is very important. Everybody loves relations, right? Even most of all, passionate relationships. But here we're talking about relationships in general. So this could be your husband, this could be a business partner, this could be, for example, if we're going to analyze the house of Libra to see how to open a business partnership, we're gonna want to see this house of Libra because it will tell you everything of what will happen. If there is any planet in retrograde, this maybe not be the best time to sign a contract. So when we talk about starting business relationships or even marriages, this is the house we want to watch. It also dictates how we will treat our friends and the people we want to protect under our arms. Also important to say, because this is true, Libra rules,
Rules.
rules, Libra rules. This is delicate. Prepare yourself because this is delicate, but it's true. Okay, Libra rules declared enemies. So if you've got that person in your life that comes to your face and say na 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 na, that person, if you feel like that person is not friendly with you and that person makes very clear to you that she will not be pleasant to you, you can consider that like a declared enemy called here. Like, let's not take the word enemy for the worst part of it, okay? Let's just talk about someone who contests us in this case. So here in Libra, Libra also rules the subject of declared enemies, people who are not uh, cheering for you, but they declare it to your face. So they're not like fake people because they're saying to you right in front of you. Okay. Okay. Then the next house, it's the 80th house of Scorpio. Okay, I have to say this because it's my sign. Okay, so I have to. I love Scorpios. Everyone knows this, and even though I love Scorpio, we're going to talk about a little bit of delicate subjects in here because we're bad spoken, okay? Scorpios, I know we're bad spoken because we rule the worst. But the worst is super necessary for balance. So let's not keep negative things in mind related to that. But why am I saying that? Because Scorpio brings crisis, fights. It is also ruled by Mars, so it has a little bit of that bellic force too. But in this case, related to the values of others, because we're talking about the others hemisphere, which is above the blue line. And here in Scorpius, we also have breakups, betrayals, murders, crimes. Here, here is like the power of Shiva. Okay, this is destruction. This is like the eight line down eight, which is the infinite symbol, because you pass through one side of the movement for positive, and then you need to go to the other side and pass through negative. This is how life works. This balance between bad and good, that and by that contrast, we get to understand what's going on. And this is important because when in tarot we talk about, please don't worry about the death card. The death card just means transformation. This is the same symbol for Scorpio. Scorpio symbolizes transformation. So we don't have to see this as a bad thing. Oh, but it represents crises and betrayals. Okay, but it also represents the truth. Can you see that? Because if you're living in an illusion and life brings you crisis and delusion, you're gonna wake up. So if you were living a life that was totally fake, not a good marriage or anything like this, life needs to bring those kinds of crises because life is real and it really wants you to like experience for real, for a plenty, plenitude, plenitude. And this is very important because our lives, they need to change. Now you're gonna have people that doesn't like change. What are they? The fixed signs. They are called stubborn because they're fixed. They like prepare their movements. So people who has problems with those changes regarded in Scorpio are the fixed signs, which is the Scorpio itself, Aquarius, Leo, tá faltando um de terra, and Taurus. So when we come to the subject of all these transformations brought by the 8th house of Scorpio, Those fixed signs, those four fixed signs I just said, they have a little problem to face this because it is discomfort. If you like accept, and if you've got in here an energy of, like, let's suppose in here you would have a Mars planet. Mars is very agile, so you would have a Mars making you pass through the worst cries in the shortest time possible because it fastens things. Okay. I was more dedicated to this house, most of all because it's mine. No, because it's the transformative house, and this is very important for everyone, right? Next, we've got the house that I like a lot. A house that I like a lot is ninth house. The ninth house is the search for truth, is the receptiveness of philosophy. So it's the beginning of our search for spirituality and our search for truth and deeper understanding, deep communication, because it's the opposite of Gemini. So if Gemini was my communication and my expression, now Sagittarius bring our expression to the world, to like large groups, to international situations. So Sagittarius represents international travels, long-term travels, long distance relatives, like the uncle, grandpa, or something like this, and second degree cousins, or something like this. And Sagittarius also start provoking us for the search for spirituality and truth. This is, and I love this a lot. First of all, because I love travels, and I do love international travels. Second of all, because in here they're talking about our deepened knowledge, deepened, like, deepened, like, deepened knowledge. Which means, if in Gemini we were talking about our studies from first to fourth grade, here in Sagittarius we're talking about our universities, master degrees, PhD degrees. So this is very important because in here we're growing to a very mature level when we are going to be internationally recognized. Okay, this has totally everything to do with the next house. The next house is Capricorn. Also, my moon. I love Capricorn because my moon is in Capricorn. But we're going to talk about that later. Anyway, in Capricorn, we're going to have the subject of work, but not our daily routine and how we plan to do this. In Virgo, we had that our daily routine, our practical and operational works. Now, here in Capricorn, we're talking about our leadership, our success, our professional success. But pay attention to that because when I talk about professional success, I'm not talking about what people think. I'm not talking about tomorrow you leave your senior stage to a supervising stage or a managing stage. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about enterprise growth. Okay, when I talk about professional leadership, is actually the subject that is so powerful in you and you are so passionate about it and you have such a joyful moment in studying and searching everything about it that you become like this very, very acknowledged person in that subject that you love. And because of that, and because life makes you live that, and it's natural for you to grow the subjects you're passionate about, life starts bringing you situations to put that knowledge into a professional success. Because what happens is you start to become a leader in that subject. But I would like to say even better, a spiritual leader. Why do I say spiritual leader? Because this may not appear here on earth as a, como que é cargo? Cargo, tipo, cargo de profissão, a position. This is not like about a professional position. So this would not be like, oh, because of that and because I'm leading in that subject, I'm going to be director. No, forget that. When I talk about you leading, is spiritually talking about. So leading would be like this: I'm very passionate about a subject, and then when people come talk and ask to ask me about it. And this person goes to another one and says, oh, that person knows a lot about it, go talk to her. And the second person comes, and it starts spreading into the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then you have a whole lot of people wanting to talk to you about that subject. And this is very important, okay? Because a sense of if you already got a sense of what you are passionate about, super invest on it, because it will naturally happen. People seeking for your guidance in that subject. This would be like a glimpse of life. Life is trying to give you a glimpse of where you would succeed, okay? So you don't need to think about your current job. You will think about what's going to go later on. Uh, Now, Aquarius. Aquarius is representative of community service, but related to community, not to an individual. So, community services, ONGs, ONGs. Como é que é ONG em inglês? Like ONG? No. Or, okay, I'm sorry. Those third sector organizations that are there for charity for other people, okay? So, Aquarius rules those community services, rules activities in big groups, uh, how our life is going to be filled with the energy of larger groups for whatever subject. And here we start to worry about relations, but not to one person or business partnership. We're going to start worrying about our big relations, like how am I going to affect the world, and what am I supposed to do to leave here in my life a large impression of good things for other people. And it also represents the Hanged Man in tarot card, because Aquarius is supposed to bring a little mess, because it shows you a new vision to bring people to the future. So if you have a traditional person going through an Aquarius situation, the person will get confused, because the Aquarius movement is to show new things. And because of that, they bring sometimes rebellious movements. So they can bring with a lot of force new movements. And because of that, they also rule rebellions. The last house and the 12th house is the house of Pieces. Pieces is the loving kind, full of spirituality sign and house. And it also rules, this is very important to mention, it also rules two things that we need to concentrate on. It rules undeclared enemies. So here it talks about the people that are faking our lives. And it also rules our addictions. So this is very delicate. And if we've got a planet in here, this planet can help us study how to go over addictions. But is it all bad? No, it's not all bad. It's a sign very connected to all the strength and the power of all the universe. If you're talking about connectiveness, you're going to talk about the House of Pieces, the 12th house. Okay, I think got us the first beginnings of things in astrology, the first concepts for reading a chart. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let me remind you, for you to have the continuous of this whole teaching, please subscribe so you can become a celestial member, because all the deep teaching is going to be available only for members. In here, we're gonna look more over the generals, okay? So I invite you to know our page, and you will be able to see a lot of benefits in becoming a membership. You will have a full support of our spiritual coaches, including me, for any concerns or questions you might have on any subject. It could be spirituality, it could be your professional life, love life, financial life, you choose. It's your call, okay? And you will have this text support for your needs at any time and anywhere. So we're going to keep all your information super confidential, of course. There is no doubt in that. And we're going to give you all emotional support you need for this spiritual path of growth and empowerment, which is super important these days, right? So I hope to see you soon, and keep keep looking at our page for the next free workshops, available workshops for everyone, because we're going to talk a little bit of tarot in this week, and we're going to talk about subject, my favorite subject, which is mediumship and channeling. So if you want to start opening your third eye, please be here with me. We're going to touch into that very soon. Thank you for being in here with me so far. I'm very glad. Thank you again, Love and Moon Boutique. I hope our partnership gets to grow very strongly and in the long term. And I'll see you guys on next Thursday. Thank you. Bye bye.